Oh yeah. It's an impression, or
impersonation. Because you're embodying the person, right? Is that something like that?
It's
maybe
we're trying to do the acting thing of it. I don't know. It's I brought the mustache and the glasses because I was rewatching it. Just like, man, I got some notes on myself there. That was too much yelling. You know, if you're gonna do Burt Gummer, listen, folks. There's got to be those quiet moments, too, where it gets real scary. I keep trying to tell you people. Well, it's okay, Nancy. We can have an online relationship, but you got to wear the Shrieker costume. I ship the fuck out of those two, Bert and Nancy. Like, that is my one, like, if this TV show had gone on longer.
I know, right?
If only.
If only. But hey, there's still the future. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Keep new TV shows or restarted TV shows, man.
Well, and you're keeping it alive. You're carrying the torch right now, I think.
Yeah, man, I was really glad to see that they're busy. Like, that was the coolest thing to, like, Steve, like, oh yeah, no, we've actually gotten really busy with other stuff because people are, like, hearing about it, and because you can't do anything with money. Like, you can do stuff with Tremors, but you can't do anything that costs any kind of money. Mm-hmm. So it's so good to hear that they're out there doing something in any kind of sense, and, like, selling scripts and, like, getting out there. Because I'd love to. You got Fraidy Cats back there, and, you know, like Tucker's. Like, it's like, this is. Give me some more of this. I want some more of this kind of thing. Yeah. You know, it is sorely missing in our entertainment these days. It's not like it's not there, but we need more of it. It's not a bad thing to have around.
I'm just glad Steve's still writing, and I'm glad that the crew is still together and they're trying to make something. You know, whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
I think the only one that's, like, officially retired is Nancy, but I think even that's, like, half retired because she just can't stop. I mean, it's just the whole Tremors thing. I think just killed her. I always see that. Even just talking about, I picture things in my mind. So when I say someone's name or something like that, I think about everything associated with them. I'm just like, oh man,
yeah.
All that work that she did, man, and they just fucking snatched to root it. All right, folks. So this is the Talking Tremors podcast, and we get in real fucking sad shit.
Yes.
I have no. There's no Universal logo to open this. I don't really have a song. And
you let me know when to. You let me know when to press play.
I was halfway doing. We'll call this an intro. We'll.
Sorry. Sorry.
No. You're fine. You're fine. We'll call that 4 minutes of preamble into an intro.
Yeah, preamble.
That's really what an intro is about. But yeah, man, everybody should know Tremors got fucked. Real. I don't know, man. I said that as an intro, and I'm like, damn, that's such a downer beat.
It's sad.
You got to listen to Tremors. It's gotta listen right.
It's Talking Tremors. maybe we can, like, mash all this stuff together into an intro, right?
No. You gotta leave it. You gotta leave it because it hurts, man. Like, and honestly, the one before this was hyperkinetic energy. So let's, like, we'll call this a sliding scale, bringing it down.
Chill out and listen to smooth jazz. Wait, what?
So if you're just tuning in and you have no idea what's happening, neither do we. So welcome to that. This is Talking Tremors. I am your host, Levi Dylan Burzloff-Lutt, and I am joined by the one and only. That's you.
Oh, Kevin Collins, otherwise known as Beetle Bear.
Yeah, you can tell that wasn't
terrible.
Planned. Nah, that was the point. Smash cut 2. Yeah, for the
we'll
30.
Just do the intro all day.
Bah, 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 bah. That was so. If you didn't know, we did about an hour of intro before this. We were super duper worried that the audio video recording we were using would short out on us. So we talked for a good hour about everything about Tremors and would probably make a better podcast than the one you're about to listen to. But I disagree because we're gonna actually watch the episode now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're gonna do it. And
oh yeah.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah.
I just love the TV show, and I'm glad that we're doing this finally. You know, I've been excited all week. I've been all pumped up, nervously pumped up, because excitement and nervousness can be the same thing and the same feeling in some cases. But I'm glad we're right here, sitting right here, right now, queued up to watch Feeding Frenzy, the proper first episode of the show, right?
The only one that's in the right fucking order. People are like, oh yeah, but you know, at least it's not like Firefly where they switched the first episode around with the second episode. It's like, I would fucking have preferred that.
Right? Yeah,
I would prefer that situation.
I mean, maybe we should take a moment to let everybody know that, you know, when this first aired on Sci-Fi, it was way out of order. And isn't there like a Venn diagram or a chart or a cross-reference piece somewhere?
There's a fucking one with lines and shit, man. It's the line chart.
It's confusing.
So a long time ago.
But on Vimeo and the DVD, it's in the right order.
Thankfully, no. Okay, so I do have to say this: there's some DVDs that don't have it in the right order.
What?
Actually, someone reached out to me on Reddit because I do a bunch of shit on there. That's where all this started, really. And someone was like, "Hey, I know that you like watch Tremors. You got me to watch Tremors the series. I bought the DVDs and they're not in the right order." I was like,
"Wait, are my DVDs in the right order?"
I know, right?
Feeding Frenzy, Shriek and Destroy, Blast from the Past, and then Hit and Run for the first 4, right?
Yeah, no, it's written. I think we got the right one because we're in America. Okay. That's what I've come to find out is if you're an American, you get the right order. If you're not an American, you can fuck off.
Right? Yeah. Jeez.
So yeah, if you've never watched Tremors the series, you never heard of it, it's because I honestly don't have a fucking reason. I don't, man. Besides some fuckery. Like that Mixmaster thing that I say, where it's like the cute, cuddly, okay, you came up with a brilliant idea to make 1 billion different Pokemon with a horror movie universe. And
Wait. Do you think Universal was trying to be clever and Mixmaster the episodes? Like, hey, look at us. We added our little piece to this.
Don't do that.
We use Mixmaster on the episodes.
I'll buy the Mixmaster on the DVD cover. I'll buy that. That's always been my headcanon too. That where's the hold on. If you're watching this, you're like, oh my god, what is that? I have to play to 2 different cameras because I got Kevin here and over here. But it's like, what is that thing? And that's a Mixmaster Graboid. They said that in the Suns and Shadows podcast. I would love to see the Shrieking Grab Blaster. That was one a long time ago. I remember sending that to Steve. He was like, "Oh my god, yeah, that's a really great idea. If I had any say in what we're doing, yes, make a Shrieking
Grab Blaster. That's
because you have. If you don't know the TV show, there is this compound that's introduced in the episode with Christopher Lloyd. Yes, this TV show has Christopher Lloyd. Not just for 1 episode, folks. For 3 different episodes. For a quarter of its runtime. It has Christopher Lloyd in it.
It's awesome.
It's insane. You had Christopher Lloyd on a TV show and you fucking canceled this? That's always my biggest...
Right?
Okay.
Doesn't make sense.
What were you thinking? And there's this compound called Mixmaster that allows the DNA of different species to be... reconstituted and mutated, and I'm trying to do a Twitchell right here, because I'm just really tired of you shit, Gummer. Like the Mixmaster, it's in the valley, and it's always something new with you guys. I just so now we got a Shrieking Grab Blaster, Larry.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, I like to. If I'm gonna do somebody, you gotta think about them. They gotta live. They gotta be real. I got a lot of flack in school for this one impression I did. And we'll see how the podcast audience reacts to this, because this is totally fair and indicative of my character. All right. So there was
do it.
There was this mentally handicapped kid in school. What? That's a start, right? I can see your face already, Kevin. Like, oh no, what the fuck did I sign up for? There's this mentally handicapped kid, skin cool. I'm mentally handicapped too. We'll call it that. And I got a little autism too, like I said, and the Parkinson's. So I'm like, I'm not shuffling with a full deck over here either. But this kid was, we'll call him a bit of a perv or whatever. Like he would go into like women's locker rooms and not just that, but whenever he walked into a room, he would have this, "Oh, the sheriff is here, town." It fucking made me laugh. It was just funny to me, just because he would just fucking do it with every bit of gusto, and
he was committed to it.
He was fucking committed. That was his catchphrase. That was his doing what I can with what I got. "Oh, the sheriff of this here town." And I would just do that impression. I would just do that because it would just, like I said, just made me like, that's just really funny. And also, I have this thing where it's like, you can't be fully like, oh no, let's not, you can't do anything with mentally handicapped or retarded people or anything like that. They're off limits. It's like, hey, you ever seen The Ringer? Like, I gained a lot of respect for Johnny Knoxville watching that shit, where you're just like, yeah, man, like, how about we let these people be themselves, and they are humans, and they have plenty of, like, thoughts and stuff that we do too. So like, you're actually the bad person for saying that you can't, that they're off limits and that you have to be nice. No. Like, they get the fair shake of that or whatever. And to make this I'm not a terrible person. Okay. So I did that impression and people would just get mad at me and just be like, like I said, you're making fun of a handicapped kid. And I was like, that's fine. So I would, do it less and less. I think it was last year or the year before, I found out that he was actually impersonating Damon Wayans in a fucking In Living Color sketch.
Oh my goodness.
Where, cause, it might be, I think it's Damon, where, he has a character that's like handicapped. He's a handicapped superhero, and he comes in, and that's what he says.
I remember that character.
When he enters a room.
Handyman. His name was Handyman.
Yeah, yes!
Yeah. Handyman.
And he's on the show.
I have a half brother who's he's mentally handicapped, and he loved that character. We would always scream at the TV watching that. So I don't know if that was helped him feel like included or like he's represented or something, So that's cool.
I've actually realized years later that that's what I was picking up on. It's not like I said I didn't. I just said his catchphrase. Like that was just always funny to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's because his catchphrase was from. He was also impersonating something, so he was trying to be funny. And you're like, oh, I was actually doing the right thing. Yes, I knew it. Like, fuck yes.
You were participating too. Yeah.
So yeah, that's if you want to know my character. There you go. That's interesting to know about you too. Like that's where I'm glad I didn't completely offend you there.
No, that was a great story because like if I'm listening to this, I'd be like fearful for for myself, right? But if you listen to the whole story, it's like, oh, okay, well, that wasn't offensive at all. Actually, it was a really well-rounded story to show how included you were being with that other person in your school.
I was sensing that. I may not have known it like consciously, but I was sensing that little bit of just like, oh, okay, you're trying to be funny too. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Like,
well, and I could see that you're a really outgoing person, so I could see why you would catch on to that and go with it too.
Yeah, man. You wouldn't say it all the time if you didn't want it. Like I said, it was his catchphrase. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're the sheriffs of this here town. Hell yeah, man. Actually, that's and on that note too, because I said this in an earlier podcast, I am really autistic. I'm used to not be outgoing. Like I used to be really shy. One of the first monologues that I learned to help me like say things in a correct order is Burt Gummer's critical need to know information. Like And
Yeah.
specifically the bit before it. I really love the, well, suddenly I'm in an ambush situation. Must have been a couple of dozen of them. Well, I dropped the first wave with semi-auto fire, but they just kept coming. Sheer luck, most of them were in front of the truck, so I just popped it into six wheel and ran them down. Once I got on board, I handled with a combination of small arms, fire, and hand-to-hand techniques. I am completely out of ammo. And then eyes thing. I always... This never happened to me before. Like, Michael Gross is one of the best actors. Nobody should pigeonhole him. That 5-second clip of his eyes as he goes down in that, just the... Who am I? Has all of this been worth it?
Yeah.
I kind of want to kill myself.
Rethinking his whole existence at this point.
Life flashed before his eyes.
Well, because he's always prepared, and that's one of those moments where he wasn't prepared. You know, it blows his mind.
We got to start. We got to start doing the episode. So that's where. No. I was actually gonna say, like, that's one of the best episodes is when he's not prepared. Actually, we're gonna as we get into Shriek and Destroy, it's terrifying because oh no, what's Burt Gummer gonna do? Oh, he doesn't have his normal things. Yay. So, anything else for you, Kevin, before we get going?
No, I think I'm ready. You know,
me too.
I feel like when we're done, this ring light thing is gonna be burned into my retina as I walk around.
It's kind of killing me a little bit. I'll admit that too, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you got your play button, I got mine.
I'm ready. You say when, and I'll press play.
On your marks, get set, go. You got to listen to Tremors. It's really awesome stuff.
It started from the middle.
Never mind. Oh, see, we'll go back. Here, it's cool. I love the false takes and the messing ups.
Right, yeah. Okay, now it's paused right at the beginning.
Yeah? Okay, I think mine is too, so. And ready, set, go. Listen to that Tremors song. It's playing in the background. Cause it's a good music track. I gotta get it on down. Yeah, I reserve that right.
Right. I reserve the right.
I reserve the right. It's really, so I have the downloads of this or whatever, and I got a new one, and the old one that I had used to have the sci-fi commercials on it, like the original Sci-Fi Channel commercials on it. And this song was pitched up, and it would just annoy the fuck out of me. And it's great to rewatch it with a good copy, because it doesn't annoy the fuck out of me. So that's where buy real good physical media, folks, too, if you can. But also download it.
I love this scene. Actually, I'll say I did not like the beginning of the series. The first ever time I saw it, I was like, I don't know what I'm getting into because the quality in this first scene is different than the movies. But now I love this scene. I just love the build-up of Tyler coming into town. You know, the kind of character he is. He's got a white shirt and blue jeans and a baseball cap. He's obviously driving a powered car. And then you see this sign, and it's like all these scenarios. Don't skateboard or you'll get eaten by something. Don't mine or you'll get eaten by something. And it's like, you know, he's ignoring all that warning and taking a picture with the warning sign.
Yep.
And then here...
You talk about that quality. I remember watching it the first time and just being like, well, this is fucking new. In that, if you're going to upgrade it, okay, damn. Holy shit. Like, talk about a notch up. This is a notch up to me from Tremors 3. Like, visual-wise. Just, damn, okay. I know this is on TV and it's not as cinematic, but shit, it plays a little better. Like that right there, that has always stuck in my head with that guy getting sucked down right there. Just
right.
It's maybe the camera quality isn't the same, and that's easy. People always look at that because that's easy to judge that way. But the effects behind it make your brain like, whoa, okay.
And I love this nod to the first movie right here, like that iconic scene that they had to like work around because they didn't have the budget for.
And this is them like, hey, we're gonna fucking do it. We're
gonna do it, yeah. And not with a station wagon, but with a Dodge Charger, right? That's the Dodge Charger, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
He repeats it in the Hit and Run episode. Yeah, the same El Blanco where he ate my Dodge Charger. But then, getting out on top of the car. Do like what BB Best was gonna do, but they didn't have the time or the money, and then jump. Oh yeah, to get the.
And then he's watching the car get sucked down.
And I was watching the behind the scenes. That's just a crane that they ended up CGI in the strap out of.
Yeah.
And boom, like brilliant, terrifying.
And up on the rocks, like he knows as much to get up on the rocks, right? Because we know he bought Desert Jack's business. So he has to know something about what a graboid is.
And there's a great bit of character. There's a character in storytelling where he's looking at that sign, and he's not alarmed by it. He's actually like, "Oh, I'm going to take a picture by it. There's people being eaten, and I'm going to take a picture by this sign." So he fully knows he's ready to go. And then sees the man, the myth. This is one of the best gifts on the internet. That one right there.
The man, the myth, the legend. With his big gun. Yeah. I love this in the intro with the tunneling, the way they did the special effects showing the kind of like the tremors or the graboid perspective being underground.
It's a good mix of when you have the practical and CGI. Sometimes CGI just works. It's hard to accomplish that.
And Dean Norris.
I'd love to see a really good updated underground effect. That would be my in a Tremors movie.
Yeah,
if you're gonna give it a budget, because you're not remaking it, fuck that shit. If you're gonna give it a budget, let's call it that. I'd love to see a really great underground shot. I love that the one in the TV show is just them dumping dirt down a PVC pipe that was hooked on a camera.
Yeah,
they fucking put a pipe on a camera, dump dirt down it.
Oh, and here's where we learn that El Blanco is protected. You know, they're starting to build, you know, the vibe of the TV show here, I think.
Reading the Seeking Perfection beforehand, John Welpley was talking about a lot of his ideas came from, a lot of the TV show ideas come from his third movie script, and he came in to pitch some. Like, he pitched like 5 different ideas.
Yeah. And
the guy, David Israel, didn't fucking blink at all. Which I'm reading more and more. I think he's my main culprit. Our main culprit, we'll call it, of who fucked with his show. I think David Israel is the sci-fi.
It really only seems like there's one facet of the show that just seems slightly off, and I think you're right. It could be one person or one part of what they're doing, but the rest of it is perfect. You know, it's perfection.
There's what you would, if it was a clam, you know, it's that one little bit inside of it that's that piece of sand that's rubbing and making a pearl, because it just sticks. There's something off about it behind the scenes, but and it's the foundation, and I think this is true of any good writing, is so fucking strong that it doesn't matter. It peeks through, and you can tell these first 3 episodes were written and rewritten.
Melvinville.
Downtown Melville, Nevada.
And he calls it, Discount Market? Chang's Discount Market? And she's like, discount?
That's just what we call it. Why didn't we just call it Chang's
Who's
Market?
we?
Like, fuck you. Yeah, who's we?
Is we just Melvin? Damn it, Melvin, one of these days somebody's going to kick your ass.
I'm going to help you.
I still want to see that. I want to see Melvin get his freaking ass kicked.
Oh, man. Yeah. I have ideas for, like, Melvin needs to fuck up and get a major redemption arc. I think. Yeah. Everybody hates on Melvin, and I think to show people what Tremors is all about, you need Melvin to go on an actual journey and redemption arc to show, like, oh no, this isn't about the monsters, guys. This is about the character.
I loved your idea about him being the one flipping off the camera and being redeemed in the last episode. Yeah. I freaking love that, but I still think he needs to get his ass kicked before he.
Oh yeah, that's where he has to do something really bad. I'm always of the mind that, because you find out there's the Trilateral Commission and Proudfoot and all that, that I think Melvin would get caught up in the schemes of those kinds of people. And if somebody came to him and was like, hey, we've got money and we want to do this and all that, Melvin would say yes to many a thing that would compromise his morals to get perfection to be Melville.
Well, and I mean, as we get into the later part of this episode, I mean, you really come to not like Melvin for, I mean, he gets somebody killed. Reason. Yeah.
Actually, he gets several people killed during this. There's the water hazard episode too. Like, he legit, that Dwayne guy, the fact that he lets him out, lets people know, actually it's his fault that he's taking the water there in the first place.
That's right. Yeah, with this artificial lagoon or whatever he's trying to build.
Lagoon. They don't have lakes. They have lagoons. They don't have ponds. They have lagoons.
That's a Rosalita heavy episode, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I like that one.
It was cool to learn that. Oh my God! Again, Gladys Jimenez has got to be on this podcast, yo, and learn that how much.
Get your tickets now through Ticketmaster.
They're free. They're free tickets because we want you to watch it that much.
Speak of Gladys, here we go.
So I mean, yeah. I hope.
So is that a camisole or is that lingerie that she's wearing?
I have to ask her how much of this is hey girl, how much of this is people coming up to you, and how much of this was you being okay with this? Because I feel you. It's so damn it. It's her character, but then this is actually that is to me one of the things that's off about everything. And you can tell that Stampede wasn't on site for anything, because that would have been a definite are we sure about that? I mean, guys, we haven't really gone tube top model in any of the other movies yet, so
right.
I'm not really sure it's appropriate. We'll talk about it in the Blast from the Past episode too, but that T-shirt scene, just I have to know what was the sequence of events that led up to that, because I either need to know that you were happy with it or you weren't.
It definitely seems way too early to start exploiting the actress's physical appearance. I mean, and I almost wonder if they were trying to hearken to the first Tremors movie where Finn's pants get pulled off, and then in the second one, there's nothing, or the butt scene in the second one, right? So I wonder if they were trying to nod to that, but I don't know. It seems a little too early for that, maybe. But I do feel this first episode, they're trying to tie all the Tremors stuff together, so you kind of get the
There's
tone.
Ass blaster pinatas. I just noticed that too. So,
yeah.
But these first, they want you to remember what they did, and not in a
and I love this where Bert's reading the mail, the whole ground's shaking. He's just I'm going to read the mail. I'll just be still.
And actually, my favorite part is that Jody literally picks up where she left off here.
Yeah.
Burt Gummer's Monster Hunter. Tips for staying alive when targeted by graboids, shriekers, and ass blaster. Just that it's that age-old show don't tell thing. Oh, this is how used to that these people are. They just come in. There's a giant subterranean creature.
It's just daily life and perfection. But I think that also helps build the fact that they're getting used to El Blanco and they're almost forming a symbiotic relationship with it.
It's one of the things I see Brent Maddock worry about, where he's it's hard to have a TV show with this kind of idea, because why don't these people move out? Why don't these people leave? I fully buy that these people don't want to leave. I fully buy that they're all out here for their own weird, specific, isolationist reasons, and they have zero qualms with that their isolation comes with the price of there's a monster that they have to be quiet around.
Yeah. No, they like it. I love this scene, and I'll tell you specifically why. It's late at night. It's just Bert. He's not saying anything, and the lighting on his face, you just you get the feeling of somebody being alone in their house at night and doing their tasks, what they would do.
That's development of character.
Yeah.
We were talking about it before I got talking about clothes, but I wanted to talk about the character. Because this Bert is Bert.
Yeah.
This is when they were writing that foundational writing, and then Michael Gross too. I always got to credit him for. You can tell he really wrote and rewrote things. Who he is, that I'm fucking paranoid. All right, yeah. I know.
That double blink.
They made fun of him for that first 10 years where they didn't come back, and then in Tremors 3 they came back. So now he has this full, like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you make fun of me, because I'm fully aware that there is any point in time that this can happen again. Like that.
Yep.
Fuck off. Like, this is, I'm not crazy. And that's where if it wasn't for graboids and shriekers and ass blasters, Bert would be crazy. Like, his preparedness and paranoia only makes sense because there's these monsters around. And there's a great, I made sure to write it down. There's a line that's tossed between characters, made me look like I was some kind of antisocial paramilitary paranoid. Oh, yeah. maybe it's good to know an antisocial paramilitary paranoid. Oh, maybe it's not good to know an antisocial paramilitary paranoid. Like, it has its advantages and its drawbacks.
It's a 60 Minutes comment, right? Oh, I love this gung ho gummer. I want a gung ho gummer.
This is I watch these, knowing all the behind the scenes. I watch these and I'm like, this is them just like, hey, you know that merchandise that you say that nobody would want? It'll do great in Japan.
Yeah.
You guys, hey, Universal, you remember that stuff that you said that nobody would fucking buy? Well, everyone would buy it. Suck it.
Yeah. What is that? Was that an ashtray that she handed? I mean, I looked more at the action figure. Yeah, or a cigar tray or something. Or
now that I'm looking at it, I never questioned what it was. I always looked at the gung ho gummer too. I think it was an ashtray because there's that little bit of that indent in it or whatever. It's so weird to see an ashtray in something too. They've like completely. I've never smoked cigarettes in my life. I have no desire to, but just like I've seen enough of them. Like, oh man, they're not around anymore. Smoking.
Yeah. So I wondered about this scene. Okay, so he's like. Down on the ground, he's looking up. It's great acting, but I'm like, did they just tilt the camera, or is he actually like on a hill at an angle?
I think he's on a hill.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the way you can tell by the way he's up and down straight. Michael Gross is physically up and down straight.
Oh yeah, you're right. If you compare it to the background, yeah.
If it was on an angle, he would be tilted a little bit. And you're talking about the paranoia, him on the computer thing. This ties into it. I wrote it down specifically. He's got a stick here, just like up, and the way he throws it away, like he's 24/7. Yeah. There might be graboids, shriekers, and ass blasters.
His body language is alert. You know, he's like critically thinking. I think
I would love to have a MAGA Bert Gummer stan on this podcast. And be like, have you watched the TV show? Because if you're going to go out there and you're going to do this militia thing and all that jazz, do you understand what the fuck that entails?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot more than just like, we got a gun and I'm going to stand here and look cool. I got my Nerf guns. Yeah, you know, like, oh, I'm awesome. But, bro, it's called out patrolling. You're doing recons, checking things. Bert's always changing seismos and geophones. It's not. It ain't. And
Bert never points a weapon at a human being.
Unless it's in Tremors 6 and the guy happens to be a tax man, but Universal also wants you to pay your taxes by fucking taking baby Fark's fucking holiday and oh yeah, that's perfection. There it was. That works to what I was saying. And taking Baby Fark's holiday, that's perfection. Yep, it is. Yep. It really fucking is, man. And
here we get to see Rosalita
on the farm. You know what? Until I found out the behind the scenes stuff, I didn't think that she was lying. I had no idea that she was faking being Miguel's niece. Like,
I didn't think that either.
Just that fucking dumb.
No, I didn't think that at all. I mean, actually, you got a point though. You could kind of put that together.
No, it's a thing. Like, their ideas for the rest of the season were about, oh no, she read in an ad in Las Vegas that Miguel's ranch, like he had died and was around, and she went and she's impersonating his niece. And I'm like, oh man, okay.
So
I
wait,
see it
where's
now,
his actual
'cause she's
niece
way
then?
the fucking... Maybe. No, that's for a later episode. Actually, they were working where you even get Rosalita's brother coming in, Roberto. So, like, I would love to... I would have loved to seen the end of the... Actually, you get traces of that. Nancy definitely knows. Like, she says, well, when you moved out here, we didn't think it was because you were Annie Oakley. Like...
yeah.
You know, I played her in my 7th grade production of Annie Get Your Gun, right? And then I love Nancy just... So anyway...
Yeah. Well, and she's working, you know, she's doing the hard work, but she doesn't look like she's really done that before.
She doesn't belong... Like, it doesn't completely... As a kid, I was like, oh, yeah, you know, she just didn't... She got sucked into it. I live on farms, and I know how that goes. Oh, no, your relative died, and now you got to take over the farm or whatever. That's always what I took it as.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it didn't... Oh, okay, no, she's grifting them. Okay. Well, she's doing a really good job. Because I just thought, she's got her mob connections. She's scared of that.
Yeah, there's a scene, I think, in the 4th episode where those mobster dudes come in and she gets really, you know, she needs to, like, evacuate.
No, that's where the Annie Get Your Gun, Annie Oakley thing comes from. Because she's like, I just would rather those guys not know who I am.
So I wonder in this scene with the cows, what they did to scare the cows to make them run like that. I mean, you know, for the production of it. I keep, like, did they drive a tractor at them?
Just
or
clap.
Just clap?
It's just a clap. We have cows. There's cows out on this farm, and yeah, you just clap.
Oh, okay.
You can just walk up next to them, in fact, and they'll just run away.
Huh. I would have never thought that. I thought they'd, you know, be chasing at, you know, like, or something.
Oh, no.
You know?
No, cows are incredibly skittish animals. They're the Stegosaurus of the Midwest.
So when I see her on the roof, I think of that, you know, the writing Seeking Perfection, where they talk about the roof in the first Tremors movie being like barely built, and it was like built to be collapsible, like drop down and stuff. So I'm like, yeah.
It's always good to have
Seeking
a roof
Perfection.
Scene. Man, it would be nice to. I think it's if you're talking about elements that are missing from a Tremors sequel of any kind, there hasn't been a roof scene in a while. Like that's
right.
See, Tremors 2. I love Tremors 2 for that scene on the oil tankers is really great.
Yeah,
that whole we're fucking stuck up here,
and
now we're stuck up here. We're stuck in a goddamn room with a bunch of what's trying to eat us. I mean, I've done this before. I did not like it.
Okay, I got a question for you. So the graboid has the 3 tongues, right? Are those tongues called something? Are they called, like, you know, grab tongues or grabticles or?
Those snakes, they are not snakes. They are tongues. I think they're just tongues.
Tongues.
There's enough confusion over what do we call the mini graboids that they're just tongues.
Right. Grabitos.
Grabeeds. Grablets. Shooters, dirt dragons, too long, mini G's. I like mini G's personally because it's so like what the fuck?
Mini G's. Yeah, exactly.
It's more like, okay.
Well, I love this. And she's like, let Tyler drive, and she's like, why? Just let him do it.
Just you'll see. Actually, that was one.
You'll see.
You're talking about finding the little details in this when you actually watch it. The line, Jody. Geez, Dale Jr., where'd you learn to drive like that? You know about racing? Yeah, a little. Well, I learned from Dale Sr. Just that quick little, like, oh, what you doing, Dale Jr.? Oh, yeah, I learned it from Dale Sr. Like, oh.
Yep.
Snap, motherfuckers. That was, damn.
Well, I'm pretty sure his hat is actually...
Your writing is off the charts.
Isn't his hat Dale Sr.'s number, too?
Oh, I need to look now. Oh, no. Oh,
I'm not sure. It could be.
Now I need to look. He's wearing that hat a lot, doesn't he? Oh,
yeah. Hey, he doesn't wear it the whole episode though. It seems like it falls off a lot.
No, he's got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look in Shriek and Destroy. I remember that specifically. He has that there. And yeah, so I have a friend of my dad's, a friend of mine too, who just reminds me so much of Tyler, and it's why I want more of his character the most, to see what kind of growth we get, because he's what I think of when I think of the actual, like, we'll call it a hick kind of person, and I think that's a very important demographic if we're going to be entertaining and learning with Tremors and all that. Those people specifically have a hard time with inputting the new information, and just like, okay, like, I love Tyler's transformation to learning all that. He's going along the way, but then also offering his own thing. Like, he is, without him, Bert probably, that whole aliens thing would have been really fucking fucked. Tyler's charisma, and that's something, if you do a sequel, to have Val and Bert too would have been awesome. To have that charismatic guy with that really crotchety dude that actually, like, oh, you both have really good ideas that you need to bring together, and once you work together, it's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like lamb chops and spaghetti, or what's that Big Daddy one?
Oh, we finally get introduced to Twitchell for the first time.
Yes, everybody, it's the guy from Breaking Bad.
Or the guy from Tremors, if you will.
He got his, like, Breaking Bad because of this. Like, I mean, they filmed in the same area and they knew the same people, and they told him about it.
And if Tremors didn't get canceled, he might not have done Breaking Bad.
Oh, I love that little deep, like, it's okay, man. I think if Tremors didn't get canceled and you didn't do Breaking Bad, you would have won with doing Tremors instead.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Everybody loves Tremors. And
no trashing my place on the down low.
Yeah, I would have loved to see more of Twitchell too. That 12-string guitar thing, to know that he's got that personality. His family man. How did you get out here? Why are you out here? You clearly have a whole life before this. What made you come here? That's one I always ask about Burt Gummer. What was that dividing line for you and Heather where you're like, I'm moving out into the middle of fucking nowhere? What was that? What happened to piss you off so much that you just went and did that?
One thing I noticed about the TV show that I think maybe the movies missed a little bit was showing any kind of highway. Like, you see a lot more actual paved highway in the TV show, and it makes you feel more like they're not as secluded as the first movies and stuff, but there's actually real infrastructure around them. You know what I mean?
It's a built-in, lived-in town. They do a ton of driving. The Sounds of Silence episode, the climax is about driving. They have to do that thing where they're leading the bugs away, literally traveling along the road that's being repaved. Yeah. And it makes it feel lived in. Makes it really feel.
Okay, look at Burt Gummer's shirt right now. It's there's 4 buttons. He's taken 4. So he does that. I wonder if the buttons mean something. Like, if he's buttoned all the way down to his belt.
And he might have a knife in there too, just ready to.
Okay, I could buy that. It's something.
Why doesn't? I think it's because he has it buttoned so he can tuck it into his pants and it doesn't separate. But then it's also hot, and so then he has it unbuttoned as far as he can go without it undoing at the bottom.
I see. So since he's a working person, he might have it open just to get a little bit more airflow.
That's what I'm getting, because he's got the white T-shirt underneath too.
Yeah, and he's got a vest on, and he's in the middle of the desert, so that'd be pretty hot to wear all those layers.
Oh yeah, a vest is worth it because it's got pockets, yo. All them pockets. Interference on my geophones. And then here's maybe it's not good to know an antisocial paramilitary paranoid. He is some secret. That
pan of his head as he pans looking across into the horizon. It's like he's pondering and running through scenarios, and
like he's not. You're wrong, right though, but he's also not right either. He doesn't know he's right. He's guessing. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I I mean it, man.
What do you think Burt Gummer eats for breakfast in the morning?
MREs. Cactus, as we find out.
Cactus with lots of hot sauce on it.
Oh my god! I just thought about what his shits would be like.
Oh god!
I'm not. You said the hot sauce that with lots of hot sauce, and I'm like, so he's not only eating cactus, he's eating cactus with hot sauce. Oh my god!
He's got to have a titanium butthole by this time.
What is the vent stack like out of that toilet, man? Well, and you know what's funny? I guess now that I say that, there's a bit of character. He's been eating MREs, so it's not like it's any fucking different. I've never eaten any, but from what I understand, they are terrible.
Yeah. Iron Stomach Gummer. That could be another toy. Iron Stomach Gummer.
Oh, you have a little graboid intestines and you take some out with some licorice. That's another good one too.
Oh man, yep.
And now I'm thinking about that MRE thing might be a Steve Wilson like army thing too. Like just MREs taste like shit. They taste like cactus with hot sauce.
So you really get the impression of you really get the impression of where Gummer is at right now just by looking at the silhouettes of the missing guns on his wall. Like the man has been torn down. He's missing essential pieces of himself, his guns.
Everything almost. Like that wall is almost, it's not even half. It's not even 3/4.
Yeah.
That thing is gone.
I wonder if Heather took half the guns when she left.
She did, but then you got to realize he blew up the other half, so then you're down to, that's 1/4 of his guns. Not even that. Maybe 1/8 of his guns.
There's only like 5 on the wall.
Yeah, the silhouettes say 1, 2, 3. Well, yeah, you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 off there in the corner. Oh man, he's lost it. He's out.
Yeah, it's dark. It's smoky. It's damp. He's missing pieces. You know, he looks a little disheveled.
You know, Bert, it would be a nice opportunity to really spruce up your place, you know? Some recessed lighting, a little paint on the walls, a nice leather sofa. And I say that, and I'm just not, like I said, looking right at it, and like, damn, it is dark and drab, and that looks like a terrible life. Yep. Nobody should be, this is my role model. Bert Gummer is my hero. I mean, okay, are we sure about that? Like, he's pretty awesome. I will give you that. But like, we should maybe.
It's terrible, but there's something about the solitude of Bert Gummer that's appealing as an audience member.
Oh yeah. I would love to be able to just go out into the middle of nowhere and just do whatever the hell I wanted to and not care. But then also, I don't want to be living in a hole in the ground eating cactus because needing some income. People.
Well, that's the thing. You don't think. I wonder how many people watch something like this and they don't think about the backstory of Bert Gummer or any of the other characters and what they might be going through that sets their tone. Specifically, Bert in this case, in this scene.
Yeah. And that's where I always try to relate it. Because Baby Fark McGeezax loves Bert Gummer. And it's for those survivalist reasons. Like, if you look past all of the legit... I love his admission of just like, yeah, there are some character flaws here. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at everything else. You're like, oh, cool. All right, cool. We can have a conversation about that then. That's great. Because that can do entertain. I'm learning, entertaining and learning. Bert teaches everybody everything.
Yeah. I love Twitchell with the little fan. Little portable fan
for you. So
sure.
Would you sign up for the Bert Gummer Survival School?
I think I would.
Yeah?
I think I would. Yeah. I think, wait, okay. So let's preface it. Do I know anything about Bert Gummer, or am I just a random extra, so to say, that's interested in survival? Like, is it Bert Gummer, the character, and I'm me still, or is it Bert Gummer, the character, and I'm also a character? Because that does make a difference. Personally, yeah, hell yeah, I'd love to do something like that.
I meant you. Would you personally, as you, go, like, do it?
I'd do that. I'd check it out.
Yeah, I would too. I would learn. I agree with Tyler. Like, I would eat it up. Like, yell at me and tell me I'm wrong. Like, just for a weekend though. I don't need to join the military. Like, but just like, yeah, to know that you're learning that, you'd be like, I'm in. I'm fucking in. Let's do this.
Right? Because that's the thing. It doesn't come off as a military boot camp. It comes off as a survival expert teaching you the way.
Yeah. He knows his shit. And it's not like he didn't, it's not like it was lying in the brochure, you know? But yeah, I had to ask. I got my list of questions.
Fire away.
No, it's cool. We'll have plenty as we go through. I'm looking at that gun in the background. That thing is fucking enormous. Talking again about the survival school thing. And then that's what Burt Gummer's about. I think the survivalism is what Burt's about. Burt is not guns. Because the only time that I'm honestly trying to now think of an effective time where he brought a weapon to a situation and that gun was actually useful. In any kind of sense. Is
this the same gun that he uses at the end of Tremors 2? I think it's Tremors, actually. Or is it Tremors 3?
No. Steve talks about... No, it's Tremors 2. Steve talks about... He is pretty sure Burt would have gone through the wreckage to find that gun. Because it wasn't in the building. It was off to the side next to the loader tractor. So if it did get blown up, it would have just moved a little bit. And so Burt went back for it and made sure to get it. And it's not the same gun. It doesn't look the same. It's not the same type of gun.
Right.
But he does specifically say in A Little Paranoia Among Friends, I bought this as special for dispatching graboids, but because of El Blanco's protected status, I wasn't able to use it.
I love this scene because it's commenting on the earlier scene where El Blanco comes through and things are shaking and they're it's whatever. But in this case, it's the complete antithesis of that scene. Because El Blanco busts through the floor and is going nuts. He's enraged.
It's the writing thing of it where you set something up in the beginning, you execute it in the last half, and life is easy. We just grab some figurines and we're cool about it. Nope! Oh, shit! Never mind! Yep. Your plan went horribly wrong. It's cool when the graboid eats the bomb in the first movie and blows up. It's even cooler when Stumpy spits it out and everything blows up and then Val's got to go through a plant. It's oh shit. That thing that we just saw, nope, it's different now.
And then Twitchell, talking about slapping a $50,000 fine if you shoot El Blanco, and now he's like, shoot him, kill him, come on, what's wrong with you?
That's actually, I wrote it down as a specific note. That $50,000 fine is really ironic because in Tremors 2, it was $50,000 to get to being paid
each
to kill a graboid. So you went from Tremors 2, where, we're going to give you $50,000 to go kill a graboid, to, oh no, now if you kill one, you got to give us the $50,000. Right. That is...
the switcheroo game, see? We're fast-talking kind of people.
Steve, if you're listening, Steve and Brent and Nancy and Ron, the writing is amazing. I can tell you guys work at it. It's what's most important.
It's multi-leveled and it ties together. It's woven together throughout. It's not just here's a point and then we're going to forget about it for the rest of the episode or series. Here's a point and we're going to mix it in throughout and sprinkle it throughout these other themes and subjects and make it all cohesive and relevant with each other.
I have to figure out what the symbolism of the fucking fence in the first movie is. That fence, have you seen the video of how the fence follows them everywhere?
Yeah.
Val and Earl are doing it at the beginning. The pole vaulting poles actually come from a fence right next to the rocks. And then Rhonda gets caught up in the fence. They're running by the fence. I'm like, what does a fence mean? I actually looked up the symbolism of fences one day because I was like, what is this? It's about boundaries and cohesiveness. It comes from the play Fences. That was the best answer I got. But I'm like, what does this mean? I can tell it means something.
Maybe it's a commentary on the right angles in nature and how man and woman make fences. They make those angles in nature. So fences represent straight lines. They represent parts of angles. They also represent protection, barriers. And if you're carrying your barrier with you and it's dragging you down, but it ultimately saves you in the end, it still served as a barrier. It served as an angle. It served as a line in the sand.
I'm glad I brought that up because that's going to be my headcanon for it now.
Nice. And then hats too. Fences and hats.
Well, hats I get. That's the shelter one. I totally got that one. I figured that one out. It's hilarious that we're recording this I usually listen to those Zoran kill counts immediately when they come out, and there's one he already released it, and I'm recording this right now because I just want to prove, hey Zoran, so you need to come on this podcast because we're probably going to talk about the same fucking things at the same time.
That'd be awesome. You should get Zoran.
Around. Oh my god!
I'd love to see that. That interplay between you two would be amazing.
I've already sent an email to the Dead Meat people, so I'm just waiting to hear back, man. Actually, that was, so no joke, that's why I have my flannel on, but I also have my Doctor Who shirt on for that specific reason. So that way it's like, if you're going to use a thumbnail of me, then, oh no, I look like Zoran wearing a Doctor Who shirt. Wink, wink.
I love this scene here because, you get to see Tyler, playing it up. And morphing, as you said, he's evolving, he's changing, he's adapting his tactics, and I think Bert appreciates that.
Yeah. What comes? I can't hear you. This is actually, I love in the impersonating things. I'm always talking along to movies. That's always one of my. Why don't you just shoot this pompous old blow bag here? Like, man, I was ad-libbing, Bert, and you got into it, man. You were really just like, I love
pompous blow bag.
And reading The Seeking of Perfection, Victor Brown really loved doing this. He talked about he would drive home with Michael on the weekends, and they'd get to talk and interact with each other. It's like, yeah, he was having a good fucking time, man. And that line right there, and that whole little bit is him just cranking that shit up to 11.
Yep.
Actually, now that Robert Jane's here, he actually talks about that with the first movie. He was so afraid of that "way to go, dudes" line.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the dumbest, cheesiest thing. And Ron was like, okay, can you just give it one really good take, and that's it, we're done. And he did. And now that song is like a remix, is like everybody loves it. Like, that's we know that line. That is the take.
I'll give Melvin credit here because he does tell the guy to turn the bike off.
Yeah,
several times.
He didn't try to kill him. And the guy, the guy kind of halfway killed himself there.
But he does lie to Bert and Travis about it.
Tyler, but I didn't want to correct you. Damn it!
I wanted to say Taylor too. I want to say Taylor, Travis, and Tyler all at the same time. I'm like,
T names aren't.
Should I say Grady too?
Yeah, Trady. Trattler. I'm looking at that hat. I'm trying to look really close. I can't see the logo.
I think it says 51. It's 51 with a swoosh around it. I can't see it from over here either. TV's 16 feet away from me.
Whoosh.
Yeah, 57 maybe? I can't tell.
Sports. That's what it's a sports reference, I bet. I don't know. That's probably.
It's one of them sports ball hats.
Yep. Oh, 51, 50T. I don't know. But this, like I said, I would love to see a Melvin redemption arc because he tried to kill the town here. It wasn't. He didn't want a tourist eaten. He was looking to have Bert get eaten almost. I always feel like that was the original goal. Melvin was being a little bit of a dick.
I don't think Bert takes his Ray-Bans off at all this entire episode. I think he drops them down so you can see his eyes for a second.
No, he takes them off when he's inside. It's always when he comes inside, you'll see it as a...
That's right. When he's reading the mail, I don't think he had them on. You're completely correct.
And with the Twitchell, too, at the end, when he was firing the shot, he's always... Nope. Because... Actually, I know that's for certain because you see Michael Gross constantly doing the motion of taking them off, folding them up, putting them into his front pocket.
Yeah.
It's one of his, if you're with the little turd, always count on plausible deniability. That is a gross-ass joke, and I love it. Because he's a little poop. And if you poop just a little bit, and nobody knows, well... You're good. And so I always take that, the little turd. Oh, that was actually pretty funny, but okay. He has one in the Ass Blaster episode. Well, the temperature there is obviously astronomical. Okay. Excuse me? What was that again? And he doesn't stress the ass. He says astronomical, but it's also like Michael was very aware of what he was doing. Oh, I want a Grappuccino.
I was about to say, would you drink a Grappuccino?
That's one of my questions for you too. Would you drink one? I don't know.
I would try it. I'll try anything because I will try any food. I've eaten just about anything. Natto from Japan is something I will not eat again because it tastes like boogers. It's fermented soybeans. It's pretty disgusting.
Okay, but hey, you had to try it once.
It looks tasty, and I still I look at it and I want to eat it, but then when you taste it, it's like no. But I would try a Grappuccino for sure. I imagine it tastes like earth.
There's a Shrieker dog too. I saw a sign for a Shrieker dog.
What? Oh, I missed it.
No, it's in a later episode. The Graboid Rights episode. I just happened to see it last night. Shrieker dogs. David Israel. Fuck you. I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, fuck you.
I probably shouldn't say shit like that, but I should. Fuck you, man. It's like Don Michael Paul. I've been hearing more and more. It's like he just might not be a great person. I'm not.
Well, wouldn't it have been great if one of the original production crew got the directing role on this TV series? Like S.S. Wilson or Ron Underwood or somebody cool.
Oh man, imagine if Ron Underwood directed. Because he directs a lot of TV now too, so it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Tactical vest provided by people. Wow, sorry, I got distracted.
No worries.
Imagine that one, and David Israel isn't directing. I trust a few of the directors a little bit. I got to make sure. Oh, because it goes all the way through. I got to make sure I pause it there. All right, and then pause it on your Shriek and Destroy episode if you got it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll preamble here.
Take a break.
End this one. We'll end it here a little bit. But yeah, I don't like you, David Israel. I have a feeling that you and Sci-Fi and Universal were in cahoots with each other, and I'm not a fan of some of the things that you did because I like the writing. I mean, what do you think of that behind the scenes shuffly? I said it enough on my last podcast. I want to kill myself.
No, I mean, I love the series, and I would say like David Israel, like sure, the first episode you don't know if you like him or not because it's like this is vastly different from Tremors 1, 2, and 3. But I would say by the end, and unfortunately the sad end because it just abruptly stops. I didn't really care about that anymore because the show grows on you. You learn to accept that one little whatever that thing is that we can't put our finger on. And you just find yourself wanting more of what you're being presented, specifically for the tone and the story and the acting. But I think other parts of the package are less relevant as you get more into the story and the tone. Because
the writing is so strong, you don't even...
Yeah.
I just ignore it. It's like
it doesn't matter.
It's like the Larry bookend in that 412 episode. I watch it and I just go like, okay, it happened. Who cares where it happened at? Like at least it's happened. That underneath part is so strong that as a whole, it's why it's my favorite part of the series as a whole. It's just like, okay, this is really good. Yeah. You could tell that they were working out whatever kinks that they had, and they even say that in the Seeking Perfection book. They had it by the end. Like that's what made them so like upset. Was just like by the time we figured it out, they were like, oh no, you're done. Goodbye.
Yeah.
It's like,
get out of here.
Yeah. And that's where I'll call out the David Israel thing, because then you learn all the other behind the scenes people, like this podcast I was listening to with Steve yesterday. I was right about the editors thing. I said it in my last episode about the people who liked Stampede and what they were trying to do and had come to the project for those reasons. When Universal comes in and starts to kick them out, we're like, but why? Like and he can't. You could tell he can't fully say it, but there's probably plenty of like phone calls and emails about
behind the scenes
and tone and stuff. Like Michael halfway alludes to it when he's talking about Tremors 5 and 7 sometimes, where you're like, did you? Because it's not illegal to have a phone call. It's not illegal to ask somebody their opinion of something, and you can tell that, oh yeah, I feel the editors and then the people on set, unless they were fully devoted to the Sci-Fi Universal production, were definitely like, well, what would Brent think of this? What would Nancy think of this?
Yeah.
And
I think it's messed up that Michael Gross isn't allowed to talk Tremors on Twitter or social media.
Right?
Like what the heck? Why, who gets to dictate what the person does in their own life? Wouldn't that be helpful to all parties involved? To have them, say something about Tremors or be involved in Tremors in some way. I just don't. It just seems like the decisions don't actually make sense for the goal.
No, that's why I was like, "What do you? The behind the scenesness of this? What the fuck do you think happened?"
Yeah,
because we love this. We want people to see about it, but also everything that we're doing is the opposite of that.
It's like it loved. So you can clearly see in this specifically, this TV show, there's a lot of love on one side, and then there's a lot of self-hatred on the other. And I would just wager to guess that a lot of the self-hatred comes from Universal, and a lot of the love comes from Stampede. So that actually, I think, benefits it, because instead of just being all love or all hate, it's natural, because the world is love and hate. It's a give and take. And I think that worked for what it is, but I think if it was a little less hate, maybe it would have worked out better for Universal too. You
can dial that down to 3/4 love and 1/4 hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we all have that. We're talking about being nervous right now in this podcast, even, and terrified. That self-hate is us checking and making sure that we're right. And did we do that? Is that good enough? I don't feel like I'm good enough. Oh my God. I probably am I'm making all of you bored right now, and you don't want to hear about how everybody can't take this kind of thing and it's all horrible. I get it. Whatever. You already hear it in your own head. That's the point.
Yeah.
And if we but it's fiction though. And we were talking about the body Cronenberg stuff is it puts us off. Because that's almost 3/4 hating yourself and 1/4 loving yourself. And it's let's if we're gonna go to fiction and we're gonna do this and we're gonna tell our stories, can we at least not make them at least useful in some sense, and not just always dragging it down. It doesn't have to be. It can be serious, but it doesn't have to drag it down. Community, one of my favorite TV shows, does that. Because there's a whole bunch of heart, but they're also but we're human and we really fucked up, and we have some things to atone for here, and I feel like, and that's to go back to that family thing. I keep bringing it up about that scene on the rocks. That would be my theme of this episode. That's a scene of self-hate. Almost.
Yeah.
You may have the. We're pole vaulting on the rocks and it's fun, but then you also have the I'm gonna go kill myself. Hey, yeah, that's not a bad idea. It gives me an idea. Oh wow, no, that's hate. That's you being upset with yourself and taking it out on that. And I think any good writer, and that's why that script works so well, is that's them reflexively talking about. That's what the point of Tremors was. Steve loved those 50s monster movies and was let's. Not make that, but also love it and homage it and make our own thing at the same time.
Yeah,
and
it's balance.
You
can't have the sweet without the bitter. It's not as sweet, and vice versa. I think balance is critical.
Yeah, somebody asked the Tremors Saga people, why do you retweet those people that don't like Tremors? Those people that'll be I watched all of them and they were horrible, or I'm at that stage in my life where I'm watching Tremors movies, and they were oh, well, because you gotta it's the good and the bad, man. These people are still fans of it. They're still watching it. Actually, there was one too where the guy was I'm at that stage where I'm watching Tremors, and then the tweet underneath was, I actually really enjoy this movie. So, you have to retweet both of those because they're both equally valid opinions. And to understand the enjoyment of it, you have to say, well, I didn't like it at first. I see plenty of that, too, where it's I didn't like it, but once I sat down and watched it, I loved it.
And you can't just present one side of a story and have it be true. You got to present all facets if you want to be transparent. And that's the one thing I love about the Tremors saga is their absolute transparency and willing to fight for what they believe in, but also willing to let every side have their own say as well.
That fucking Reba thing with the birthday, like,
yeah.
Oh wow, you're gonna the official page is gonna talk about Reba on International Women's Day. Won't make a post for months, but like, oh, you'll like suck Reba's cock on that on one day.
Yeah.
On the same day that it was Finn Carter's birthday. I actually that pissed me off
Finn
so
was
much.
the lead.
I know.
Finn was the lead actress.
If it wasn't for Rhonda, they probably all would be dead.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't have made it. That
she was the character of reason in Tremors.
Legit. If you look at it from a what if the branch of the timelines moved out and Rhonda LeBeck wasn't in Perfection Valley? Well, Val and Earl would have died on the Rock. They would, and in fact, they might have died like even before the Rock, because Rhonda being there with the seismology even gets them up on the Rock, gets them thinking about it, then gets them off the Rock. There's a metaphor for the movie almost where you have Val and Earl like, ha-ha, they're in the truck and ha-ha, yeah, could somebody perhaps, help me? She's driving the truck, which I think is, and if we're gonna, I think the script of Beneath Perfection is a metaphor for that process, where if you look at it as Steve and Brent are Val and Earl, then Nancy is Rhonda, obviously. Because it's about, everybody sees Val and Earl doing it, and they're the heroes. But as we learn with the behind the scenes of Tremors, oh no, if it wasn't Nancy down there on the truck with the gas pedal, driving without being able to see anything, they would all fucking be dead. They wouldn't get anywhere.
Would. Absolutely.
And to fucking do that. Okay, so I have to, like, I don't matter as much. Hey, babe.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
All right, Caitlin. Here. Caitlin, come meet Kevin. Hold on. This is Caitlin.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh,
how you doing?
Hi.
Oh, she can't hear me, huh?
Here.
Well, no, I've been hearing Levi talking to themselves for the last hour, so I kind of wondered who you were talking to. Now I know. Hi.
I am an artificial AI that Levi programmed.
That makes a lot of sense. You guys love Tremors.
Beep beep.
Cool. It's nice to put a face with a name. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just like freaking out.
I know.
Worlds collide.
I know. Everything I heard you say, I've heard it all before, though.
It's true. She's really happy you're hearing my voices, or people else are hearing my voices.
Your Bane was really good today, too.
Oh, thank you.
Like, yeah. Anyways, I gotta go.
Okay.
I'll
love
see you
you
later.
too.
I'll
Have
be
a
back
good
in
massage.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
That's why I love this podcast.
It's funny, you guys.
The naturalness.
You guys remind me of, or you all remind me of like my relationship with my wife. Just seeing like that little interplay was really it reminiscent. You know, like I'm gonna go kiss my wife in a second too.
I know, right? Like, oh, that was cute. Actually, that's a perfect. Yeah. Oh, and here. Outro with Herbie. So this has been Talking Tremors. I hope you've listened to the whole episode, as you should. Yeah. Ooh, I'm going to do a super... do you have anything else to say? Otherwise, I'm going to do a super thanks just at the end of this episode, because I like to thank everybody as individuals.
Well, I'm sure you'll do a great job thanking everybody, but I want to thank you specifically for, being an amazing person and, bringing me on a couple times to help do this. So
if we're gonna
thank you. I really appreciate what you do.
If we're gonna talk about the Tremors Saga as an entity, you are half of that entity, bro. Don't smile at me like you're terrified of that implication.
No, I'm not. I just I don't do well with like compliments or anything. I just I have a very autistic expression.
I feel you.
So
You were the Steve Wilson of my
I'm
Brent
trying to work
Maddock.
on. Yes, I like it. It.
Yeah, that was Nancy Roberts that just came in right there. These metaphors, man, they work all different levels. But here, I'm gonna do everybody's names. You can stay on if you want, Kevin, but I'm just gonna do it because we're gonna go through all these episodes. So you're all gonna get thanked 3 times. You're gonna get thanked 13 times even. So
13 times.
All right. So thank you to Baby Fark McGeezax. Thank you, Kevin Collins. Thank you, Steve, Michelle, and Bob Wilson. Thank you, Kevin and Harley Smith. Thank you, Jeff Johnson. Thank you, Glenn Maddock. Thank you, Brent Maddock. Thank you, Nancy Roberts. Thank you, Ron Underwood. Thank you, Jonathan Melville. Thank you, Everything I Learned from Movies podcast. Thank you for We Have Issues podcast. Thank you for Rotten Treasures podcast. Thank you to Measuring the Score podcast. Thank you for Run for Your Lives podcast. These are all actually great podcasts with Tremors stuff. Make sure you listen to them. Seriously, it's good shit. LoJack on Discord has a Tremors game that you all need to play. I've never played it, but I assume it's awesome because it's Tremors related.
Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah. Have you played it, Kevin?
I haven't played it, but he said it was Call of Duty Mobile.
Call of Duty mod.
It's like a Tremors mod.
So go check it out. Thank you to and you know what? I'm glad I get to say these. I can't wait till Metal Rican hears it. Yo, Metal Rican, I fucking love you, man. I know that you're like, oh, I'm all introverted and I'm not a good person and shit. Shut the fuck up. Come on, man. I get it.
You rock, Metal Rican.
We're all scared. Life is hard. I still feel really bad that you live in the desert. They're not gonna get you, bro. It's okay. I'll send you a seismometer. Yeah. But then, Bob Rushy and Alicia Pearson and Ashy Slashy. I love all 3 of you guys. I fucking love Alicia for always doing fanfic. And Bob is the ultimate pusher. Wherever you're at, Rushy, I need to learn your real name. That guy really knows how to push a button and keep it going. He's been the ultimate.
Rushy's a big Trek fan.
He knows story. He knows his shit. It's really good to see.
Yeah.
There's a dude that's been dressing up as Burt Gummer on the Facebook page, Nate Crabtree. He hasn't been able to watch the TV show, and he's dressing up as Burt Gummer, and because I uploaded it, he's like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'll get to watch Tremors the Series now. And he was actually, it was cute. I sent him videos of this, the ads or whatever, and he sent back, he's like, I feel I was denied critical need to know information. I was like, this is adorable! So yeah, dude, you're great. Octavio San Juan, who's writing the new Spanish version of the Tremors guide. I get to be a part of that. That's cool. I'm really excited for that. That's why
it's their own take, right?
Yeah, it's from the last 7 years. Not the 20.
So after Seeking Perfection.
Which is what we all really... they interviewed Don Michael Paul and Michael Gross, which is I really want to know the Don Michael Paul, what the hell does he have to say? So thank you, Octavio. He's going to be on this episode later on. Thank you, too, to Rattlecat. You're going to be on an episode later, too. They're just a swell person, and thanks for inspiring and giving joy to everybody. And another person, this is a person with a behind-the-scenes... Joshua Pruitt we're making an animated Tremors series. No, we're not. That's not legal. But we're making an animated Tremors series. And anyway, so thank you so much. I always love when Emmy-nominated people are actually telling the Tremors people, we love you so much. And you're like, oh, you have more awards than we do. What do we do? What do we do? And Zoran, I know that you're happening right now. Thank you to Zoran Gavojcic. I love you. I know that there's paint on this flannel. I'm an artist and a painter. Get over it. We have paint on our flannels. Oh my god. I only just now noticed you're wearing a flannel too. Usually because you are, so that's where it's not unique. You look like Earl.
It's a Wrangler rodeo shirt.
Damn it.
I even got a belt buckle.
Ooh, is it Valentine shaped? No. Ooh. Hey, look, it's Kevin's erection.
Yes. You can finally see my erection.
Boom. It's a nice belt. I like.
Yeah, it's
it's
a Tony. I don't know what it is. Tony Lasso.
Tony Lasso. Ted Lasso's brother.
Yeah.
But thank you, Zoran Gavojcik. I can't wait to listen to your kill count later. Thank you, too, to my family, my pappy and my mom and Lacey and all the nephews. I saw you love them, too. They're hilarious. Shonday and Chantrell and Samaj and Shamar. They'll be by later. That's why I'm doing this in the morning. They have spring break, so they're going to be here for about 2 weeks.
Oh,
now, so.
Lucky you.
Yeah, they'll probably show up. They'll probably show up
you.
later. I know, right? It's fine. Like I said, I love them.
Make some home movies with them.
That's partly my idea. Well, it's super snowy out here, so it's hard to. But I want to. I want to do something. I got plans. And then thank you to Gladys Jimenez.
Gladys Jimenez.
If you happen to get here to the end, hey, thank you. It's awesome. Can't wait to have you on and have you be a full human being. And thank you to Caitlin Marie Lutt. She's gone now, but she's getting a massage. Shit, man. Wouldn't be able to do anything without her. She's a bedrock and support. She's amazing.
Well, I suppose I should thank my wife, too, Miss Amanda Collins. I love you, and I'm thanking you in a weird voice, because I always thank you in my normal voice.
All right. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. Listen, I want you to know something there, Amanda. Your husband, well, he's the swellest guy around. He's one of the best people I've ever met. Yeah, does a lot for the Tremors Saga. So you make sure you cuddle him up real tight and nice. So on that note, I feel like we should hit the stop record button and go on to the next episode. Bye, guys. See you next time.
Bye.